These guys ain't got nothing, man. This game is ours. All ours, baby. Yeah.
He's taking shots at the other team already to get his teammates wrapped up. It's an all-Eastern Conference matchup in today's game as the Celtics come into town for this one. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and courtside, Doris Burke. A quick check now for starting lineups for both teams. And guys, taking a look at Paul George, what will we see from him?
Well, he's really good defensively at anticipating plays and then forcing players in areas where they don't want to go, where they become more vulnerable for turnover.
I've also got to say, Steve, that I really like how he's able to adapt defensively to really whatever the situation is. There are a number of ways he can come at you at that end of the floor.
You look at Indiana, and you look at this team, 12 games off the lead, but certainly a team that's won its share of games.
Well, this is the last matchup between these two teams all season long. This club holds a 2-1 advantage in the season series. They'd like to make it 3-1 here today.
But you know what? These season series are kind of a season within a season, and players and teams take them pretty seriously. They're in position. All they have to do is take care of business here tonight, and they'll get the season series win. Well, guys, for the Pacers, it's been a slow and long climb from the Palace back in 2004. But now, with a terrific young team, fresh off a strong showing in the Eastern Conference Finals, we can finally say the Pacers are back, and they're going to be around for a while, contending for championship.
Now, here's Batum. He's coming off a 19-point game against Detroit.
Well, he was such a presence in the lane. He had 3 blocks, but it was more than that. It was just his force. He altered some of the shots as well.
Now, here's Calderon. After the miss from Thunder. Hibbert, covered by Humphries. Another shot, and that's 2 points on the way.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
And here's Boston. And for the Pacers, ever since that unfortunate night in Detroit, the attendance in Indiana has sagged. They've been at the bottom half percent-wise, Steve, for the last 9 years.
Well, it's time for the fans to come back, Kevin. This is an elite team. They've got really high character, good guys. Ticket prices are about 60% less than the league norm. One of the best arenas in the NBA, and hey, it's Indiana. Okay, this is a basketball state.
Now here's Hibbert. He had 10 points in the win against Dallas.
And his work on the glass certainly noteworthy. And he contributed in a number of ways.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Look, Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. They'll have to deal with the size and shooting combination that Danny Granger presents, and he knows that is going to be a tough problem. He said that even though Granger might not be one of the headliner names in the NBA, he can eat defenses alive with the mismatches he creates. He's hoping they can avoid that in this one, guys.
Thank you, Doris. No good at the stripe this time. The second misses also.
You know, one of the worst things to see is a young, speedy, dynamic point guard go down with a torn ACL. Happened to Derrick Rose in 2012, and last year Rajon Rondo was the victim.
Well, loose. It's stolen by Ibaka. Humphries with a screen on George. Thunder passes to Rondo. They set the pick. Here's Thunder. All sorts of time. Can't hit.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting is nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
Here's George. Lays up and puts it in. George has got his first points of the game. Now that ACL tear for Rondo and Derrick Rose, both of them on pretty innocuous motions. No contact to speak of. Moves they make 100 times a game, but both got caught.
Yeah, that's often the way that injury happens without contact. So, difficult year for Rondo. Hard to say, how he could have avoided an injury. That's not happening. The main thing is just fighting to get back, get your knee right, and get going again.
Here's George after the made shot from Thunder. Calderon kicks to Hibbert. Three-pointer, Granger. There's the bucket kick. Granger's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Their offense already full. Stellar shooting, jumping out to this game.
Well, high-quality shots, and they've been on target with them.
Batum passes to Thunder. He dishes it to Rondo. The feet to Humphries.
impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Now here's Granger. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Dallas.
Well, he was aggressive with both ends of the court. He had 3 steals in that game, remember?
Yes, yeah.
And you know, you talk about Frank Vogel guys and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
Pacers leading by 4. Here's Calderon. A 17-point game for him in the win against Dallas.
Boy, he had it going offensively, just living at the line.
Clock at 6. And the shot no good, a bit short. And back to Vogel, he really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team of toughness, defense, and Steve, that willingness to battle.
Has a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent, along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
Here's George after punch on Rondo's bucket.
Well, you look at Paul George, my man, PG 24, young swingman out of Fresno State. Boy, he had a terrific year last season, was the most improved player last season, and a first-time NBA All-Star. And consider how young he is, just turned 23, and he's got the potential to make plenty more All-Star games, and I think he could ultimately be a defensive player of the year at some time in his career.
Luis Scola, he's checked in for Roy Hibbert. And for Paul George, the 10th pick back in 2010. What a terrific find for the Pacers.
Well, he was already a good player, but I think the injury to Danny Granger last season created the opportunity for George to really emerge as an all-star. And that's exactly what he did. Dangerous inside and out, excellent defensive player. He has a chance to be really special.
Here's George after the made shot from Thunder. Granger backing him down. That's good. Granger's got his second basket of the night.
And there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Shot, no good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. Their last encounter was in Boston, where they were able to handle the Celtics.
Yeah, that last meeting, they won the game, and remember, it was a huge day for the bench. And they got some key points for their reserves.
Now here's West. Boy, was he something else against Dallas. Here's the 3. Rebound, Boston. Humphries has got his 3rd rebound tonight. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And the thing I took away from that game was how dominant they were on the board.
Well, it's impossible not to see that domination. Based on the numbers, it was really lopsided in the rebounding battle.
And George kicks to Calderon. Back to George. This is to West. It's stolen by Ibaka. Here's Thunder, defended by George. No good from Thunder. Steve talked about the contribution they got from the bench who won this matchup last time, Clark, and it was a great game for them in that regard.
Kevin, it really was. I mean, the depth they have was apparent on that day. I mean, there was no drop-off when they went to their bench.